of the parade. The content creator behind Here in New York and Taxi TV, host and friend of the show, John Tria. Also, great head of hair.
Yeah, great head of hair.
It is the coolest way of entering the studio.
Have you ever had a barn door opening before?
No, I need that to come with me everywhere I go.
Do you want to do it again?
No,
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good. Hey,
How are you doing?
Happy early Thanksgiving.
You
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving. That was something.
I need a fog
hoot.
machine maybe next
Ooh, I
time.
like your shirt. Harry's Bar.
Yeah, you know,
Wasn't
travel
that-
all the way to Paris.
Was that a New York staple back in the 80s? Wasn't it like an American Psycho reference or something like that? I feel like Harry's Bar was a big thing.
You know, I can't talk about Thanksgiving Day
I will
parade.
tell you about
so
that
sorry.
bar.
That I can't tell you
It's a famous
about.
Parisian bar that famous Americans went to when they
Gotcha.
sought
Yeah.
refuge in Paris.
Gotcha.
I think that's also where the French 75
You
was
can't
created.
wear a
Yes.
V-neck and not have us comment. We have to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all
Happy
right. That's
almost
all right.
Thanksgiving. Let's talk about the parade.
So the first one happened in 1924.
Yep.
Jesus.
Now, if you do your math correctly, that's 101 years ago, but this year's the 99th annual one. So I'll get to that in just a minute. But that first parade was 6 miles long. It was known as the Macy's Christmas Day Parade. Started on 145th Street, went all the way down to Macy's Herald Square. There were no balloons. There were floats and animals that were borrowed from the Central Park Zoo, incling elephants and bears.
So safe.
imagine?
So you can just be walking around the city and seeing an elephant coming down Broadway.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Unbelievable.
Why not?
250,000 people saw that first parade, and Macy's said, we're going to do it again next year because it was such a success.
Yeah.
But how I mentioned, there was a few times the parade didn't happen.
Yeah, because it was a 101, but we're only counting 99.
Right, I'm horrible at math, but I know that
Sure,
we should
sure.
be
I know the
century.
answer to this. I'm having a really hard time not answering
Don't
it, but
answer.
you do it.
Don't
You
answer.
do
I
it.
want to know. You
do
tell
it.
me.
All
What
right, it's
happened?
World War II.
I studied.
Of course.
Yep.
Thank you, Ben.
So it was off for those 2 years.
It was, well, it was off for 1942, 43, and 44. It returned 45. So it was November 13th, 1942. The then president of Macy's at the time, Jack Strauss, had a press conference with Mayor LaGuardia at City Hall, and one of their balloons was the Dragon balloon,
Right.
was with them, filled with air and not helium. LaGuardia took a knife and stabbed the Dragon.
Right.
Because helium and rubber, which that's what the character balloons were made out of, were a wartime material.
Yeah.
So Macy's had 650 pounds of rubber. That rubber was then turned into life vests and lifeboats that were sent abroad for the war effort.
Look at us.
And then it was resumed in 1945. So that's why there's a little discrepancy with the year.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Inflating and deflating is a process.
Just a little bit. So
Big
this
process.
year, you know, for years, they just go up 7th Avenue, and within minutes, they're deflated because the next one comes in,
Yeah.
and they need space for it.
Gosh.
Yeah, it takes
I didn't realize
And
that.
they like lie down on them.
it takes a
So they
day.
cross the finish line and
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's a quick
It's
life.
pretty quick.
It's like a fruit fly.
Yeah, the depressing part of the parade is on 7th Avenue, but
It's like, it's just Spider-Man melting.
yeah.
Aw.
But before, there was no valves. So they would just release the balloons in the air, and they would just slowly either pop or they would land.
or you're a kid
On
in
Long
Staten
Island.
Island or somewhere, and
No,
you're
no.
like, hey.
Miss
mean,
Piggy's in my
listen,
backyard.
Nothing went to Staten Island. Okay. I mean, still nothing goes on. But they would end up on Long Island.
Oh, my gosh.
And it actually caused a fight between neighbors.
No.
Because if you found one of those balloons, there was a tag that said, bring it back to Macy's, and you got a $100 prize, which
Which is a
today is
lot.
around like $1,700.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So neighbors would fight. One of the balloons ended up in the East River. And this went on for a few years.
Were people like jumping into the river trying to get it?
I hope so.
I think it was just
I want to
however-
say yes.
I mean, probably
I want
did.
to say
I mean,
yes.
Come on,
It was
why
a
not?
decent amount back
Yeah,
then.
it was cleaner back then too.
Comes 1932.
Oh, boy.
One of the balloons was released in the air, and it got caught onto the wing of a plane.
Oh my gosh.
And that is when they stopped doing
Yeah,
that.
stop
What a
doing that.
nefarious checkered past
Yeah.
this parade
I know.
has.
But could you imagine finding one of those balloons?
No.
And literally, it's a big balloon. You would have to lug it to
Yeah.
Macy's.
Herald Square to get your prize.
For $100.
Sheesh.
I held the Spider-Man once.
Oh.
I did. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
What time do you have to wake up
Oh,
for
like
that?
in
No,
the
it was
parade.
well, I did it as a in the practice run when
Okay.
they do it in like the parking lot, and I held it. You have to put all because it's a 120-pound limit. You have to be at least 120 pounds, and I was 123, and it was 2 years ago. And you have to like hang on the balloon with all your might,
No
and your hands are
way.
like burning because of the ropes, and you're just like, and there's 90 people with you trying to do it. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's the best workout ever.
So
Just
I
tell
can't
Peloton
hold
about
a
it.
balloon.
You can't do
and
it.
I can't be a
You
rocket.
would be up there.
If they find you, they would give you a prize. surprised.
I will return you to
Touche.
Macy's anytime you want.
Touche.
So I'm gonna like quiz your knowledge a little
here
bit.
we go.
Because I can't do this without.
Let's
Free
do it.
snacks,
Let's
so
do
I gotta,
it.
I gotta
Let's
do
do it.
this.
He
We know-
studied,
we know
I did
it all.
not.
First up, what is the tallest balloon in
I don't
the
know
parade?
this. I have no
The
idea.
in the current
Oh,
parade?
it's if it stood up like straight, it's a Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man.
He's huge.
Well, no. That's the tallest.
Oh, I don't know. Empire State Building. The one in Dubai.
Bugs Bunny? I
building.
have no idea.
No, I'm talking about balloons, not
I know, I'm
buildings.
kidding.
Okay, so it's Minnie Mouse. It measures
Oh.
60 feet
Oh,
tall.
Minnie.
look at her.
Yes. The next one.
cute.
She's so butch.
I can't.
What balloon is the longest in the parade?
That's
That's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That is Spider-Man. He measures 77.5 feet.
Yeah.
What balloon is the widest in the parade?
Oh God.
Pac-Man? No, what's that? Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Pikachu's pretty
I have no idea.
No.
rotund.
Gabby, the doll.
Oh,
It's
the
like
Abby Cadabby. Abby
No,
Gabby.
Gabby, she's the dollhouse.
From Full
Well,
House.
suddenly the floor has something to say about
Who's Gabby?
Who's Gabby?
And why
She's
is
like
she
one
so
of the
happy?
Disney shows,
She
I
needs
think.
some Ozempic.
Gabby.
We need to give
I've
Gabby
never
some
heard of this Gabby.
GL1.
I have a feeling if it gets Ozempic in a balloon, it may like.
It may pop.
You get the Ozempic
But
face
that would be
really
good.
quick.
I need to know who this Abby is. Gabby.
Gabby the Babby.
So next,
Gabby. Sorry.
what tunnel do the floats need to travel through to get to the start
say
of the
one,
parade
I'll
of the
take
Upper
the
West
other.
Side?
The Lincoln.
Holland.
Matt Marcel gets
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do you know how it needs to fold up? Do you know what it needs to fold up to the size of?
12 by 7. 12 by something. 12 by, I read this morning.
Okay, it needs to be the size of a city bus to fit through the
Yeah.
tunnel. So that's probably that.
Depends on the bus. Those slinky ones.
What is the longest float?
Spider-Man.
No, the Macy's one. No.
The
no.
Santa Claus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that everyone loves.
Yeah.
And
He's
la-
the last one. He's
Right,
like,
he's the
oh,
finale.
there's Santa, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And today is the balloon inflation ceremony on the Upper West Side. I love going to it. How many people go there?
1 million.
Hold up.
Ben gets a gold star.
Was that right?
Because
I
he
did not
studied.
even- I didn't
He knew
study
World
that.
War II. He
Yep.
knew all of these.
I
That's
didn't even
better,
study that
Marcel.
one.
Come on.
And he didn't even finish college.
Oh, I didn't. Or high school. Or middle
You know
school.
what? You
the
know what?
streets raised me.
You get the gold star. That's fine.
I was raised by the streets.
John Freya, always great to see you.
Always great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Follow him,
And I'm
please,
sorry.
on TikTok at here in NYC or on the gram at here_in_NY.